Okay, morning everyone. I'm live here from Donaghy's in Kilrea, and I'm going to be showcasing this gorgeous Ninja air fryer. This is the AF 160. So this morning I'm going to be making my air fryer Italian soda bread. So this is one of my favorite recipes, and for someone just starting out learning to bake or cook, it's one that feels safe, and I've adapted it for the air fryer. So just want to show you that's it there, and so we're actually going to be breaking the bread in the base of it. So I'm going to take out the crisper plate, okay? So that's to help promote plenty of air circulation, and if you're doing nice chips or chicken, to have it nice and crispy. So I'm just going to take that out and set it there, okay? So just put a little bit of oil into the base of the air fryer. Okay, so technically that's just like a cake tin. So I've also made brownies in it this week as well, and they were pretty amazing. So it's a little bit of oil on the base. I'm using this silicone paper. So this is a non-stick silicone paper, and it can be reused, and you just wash it with soapy water. So just putting that into the base there, and a wee bit of extra oil around the outside, just so it doesn't stick, okay? So I'm going to turn it on, and we're going to preheat it, okay, for a few minutes. So I'm selecting bake mode there, and we cook this at 180, okay, and hit start, and we're going for 30 minutes, but I'm going to preheat it. There we go. 30, okay. Right, so that's that, getting started. Okay, so this recipe, we use soda bread flour, we use Parmesan cheese, buttermilk, and we top it with some sliced red onion and rosemary, and some sun-dried tomatoes and sea salt and olive oil. So it's kind of my take on an Italian focaccia bread, but when you make it with soda bread, you don't have to prove it, and it literally cooks in about 20 minutes in a regular oven. Something similar here. Okay, so everybody happy? Any questions? So right, I'm going to start off by slicing up my onion, okay, for the top. So just red onion, and so nice fine slices. So these knives, these are amazing. These are Victoria Knox, so they're great because you don't have to sharpen them. Okay, that's my onion, and I've also got some sun-dried tomato here. Just take some of that out. Okay, and then I've got my rosemary there, so we're just going to peel off a few sprigs here. It starts off tidy and then it just goes into chaos. Right, okay, give the hands a wee wash. Okay, so let's go, and we've got our soda bread flour here. So soda bread flour is actually plain flour with baking soda in it, if you want to make it yourself. Okay, so straight in to the bowl. And then we're going in with some Parmesan cheese, okay? So it's about 2 tablespoons, so, and if you think you've added too much, just add a wee bit more. It's kind of one of those things you can't go wrong with, Parmesan cheese or vanilla. You kind of can't add too much of it. So Parmesan cheese, it's actually like a seasoning as well, so it's not just cheese for the sake of it. Because there's quite a lot of salt in it, so you don't actually need to add too much extra salt to a dish if you're using it. Okay, there we go. That's about 2 tablespoons. Just use the wee microplane there for grating it. And all these gadgets are also available here in the cook shop. So I have an absolute field day down here. But now, so stir it through, okay? So I've got my buttermilk here, okay? So it's actually 400 mils that I'm adding in, okay? But, you know, as you make it, you don't really need to measure it because you kind of get to know by the texture of the dough. Now, I always stir my dough with a round bladed knife as well. If you go in with your hands straight away, well, you can do, but quite often you'll end up with just big dough hands, and there's no dough in the bowl. It's all in the hands. So stirring that in, and then a wee drop more. So this is a recipe for plain soda farls as well. It's just your soda bread flour and your buttermilk. Maybe a wee bit of salt as well, just help it. Alright, just a wee tiny drop more, and then I'm going in with my hands. Alright, so just pulling it in. Now with soda bread, you're not wanting to get in, you're just kind of suggesting to the dough to come together, okay? So we're pushing it nice and gently. So you can see not too much dough in my hands. Okay. Okay. So we're just pushing it together. So it's just like the way you would make scones as well. You don't want to overwork scones either, because then you will overwork the gluten. And if you overwork the gluten, which is the protein in the bread, you're going to end up with quite tough bread. You don't want that. This is a lovely, soft, airy bread. Okay, there we are. So that, nice and soft. Okay, so I'm actually going to set that there and move this here. Okay, so by now my that's preheated, and I'm just going to place the dough straight in. Okay. Now, just using my fingers, I'm going to make the holes that would be traditional in a focaccia bread, okay? So it's one of those things, if you're stressed out, make some of this bread. Just, you know, getting your hands into some dough, there's nothing like it. Okay, so now I'm just going to give my hands a wee bit of a wash there, and so nice. So we've got some olive oil here. My fancy jar. I'm always looking out for wee things like this. I was in, we were down in Newport this summer and spied this in the butcher's, so had to have it. Okay, so we drizzle of oil on the dough. Well, big drizzle. Okay. So again, go in with your fingers now. So hand in a claw shape. And then the oil really helps to hold those nice holes. Okay, so then so those holes are going to hold all those lovely flavours, the oil and all that. Okay, so see, all right, everyone, and we're now going in with our onion. Okay, so it's just scattering that over the top. Okay, and then pushing that into the dough a wee bit as well. That. And then go in with my sun-dried tomatoes. Okay, so just pushing them into the dough. A bit more onion, I'll just use all that up. I have some fresh tomatoes here as well, which just an interesting wee contrast. So just pushing those in, just little nuggets of flavour. They'll just burst, keep the bread lovely and moist. There we are. And now go in with my rosemary. Okay. So just scattering that on. So it looks lovely already. So it's not even cooked. So you can add different things to this. You could add nice roasted peppers. You could actually add cooked ham through it, or some fried onions, some bacon, olives, another thing. And you could, add a variety of cheeses. You could use feta cheese, obviously Parmesan. I prefer it, but a nice local mature cheddar would be great as well. And just finish it off, we're going in with some sea salt. So this is the Malden sea salt. So it's for that nice crunch, that little bite of salt when you bite into it. Okay, so that's my bread. Okay, so we've got our soda bread flour, we have our buttermilk, we have our Parmesan cheese, and then it's topped with red onion, sun-dried tomato, rosemary, sea salt, olive oil. Okay, so it's going in here, 24 minutes there, so that'll be okay. And that's it. So on the air fryer, it's 180, okay, on the bake. Okay, so that's the bread, and it's a dead handy recipe, and we have copies of it here and some over there. No, there they are. So actually I made one earlier, so because it takes a wee while and you probably don't want to listen to me for 25 minutes. So there we are. So that's it there, and so you see lovely brown, golden brown colour on it, and then that nice red from the sun-dried tomatoes, and some of that purple from the onion. So I'm going to slice it and let you see what it looks like. Okay, so there we are. Look at that, isn't that lovely? Just so nice and spongy and soft, and so it's gorgeous. So definitely it's a recipe to try if you're just starting out baking, or you want to try and use your air fryer or something a wee bit different. So put it there, and would anyone like to try a wee bit? Just slice up a few samples here. This is just making the store smell amazing. So was there any questions there?
Brona, one of the questions that came in earlier was about the capacity of the air fryer.
Yes.
Feed a family, or
yes,
for a couple
probably
to cook on?
Probably feed about 3 to 4 people. It is, it's a good capacity, the actual cooking area. So basically an air fryer is a mini convection oven. So it's great to set on your worktop. Cleans so easy, cleans like a dream. I put that into the dishwasher, and to me that's one of the most important things, as well as producing lovely, crunchy, healthy chips. That's how I use mine.
Someone else asked, apart from chips, which is probably what it's renowned for,
yeah,
what other types of things do you cook?
Well, I've had some fun with it this week. So I've actually, I have done brownies in it as well. So that's my brownie recipe. So again, just the same as what you did with the focaccia bread. You just pour your batter straight into the base, and after about 20 minutes, take it out and just let them kind of cool and set. You can also do meatball bites. So I made these yesterday. So just pork mince with some herbs, onion, bit of Parmesan cheese, and they were nice as well. And my favourite is the chickpeas. So it's a lovely high protein snack. You just get your chickpeas, a bit of onion salt, garlic salt, paprika, tiny bit of oil, and let them cook away there, and they're just lovely and crunchy. It's like a healthy roast peanuts, and flatbreads as well, which I'm going to be making in later on. So yeah, there's a lot of potential for trying it for different things. So that's the bread, and if you want any more advice or questions, send me a message. So is that me?